Hey there guys, I'm going to be previewing the Kefka series boss battle, which is due out on Global pretty soonish, probably at the end of the month, maybe beginning of next month, I'm not entirely sure, but soon. And my previous Kefka clear on the Japanese server used units that are not going to be available on Global when this releases, so I'm going to go back with only Global available units to show an example how to do this trial. We're going to use Charlotte for passive provoking the single target. She's also going to be covering the magic. Her defense is a little bit low for Kefka, but it should be fine. And she's not sleep immune, which is slightly a problem for some of the earlier fights, but it should be fine for the Kefka fight. We're going to be using Fina for just all-around buffing. She does, buffs, mana regen, re-raise, etc., resistances. Now we're using Yuna because Yuna has barriers, and barriers are really important for surviving the Heartless Angel combo of Kefka himself. And I'll explain that more when we get there. But for now, I'll just show that Yuna is going to be mostly for her barriers, also for some backup abilities. Auron is going to be our breaker. That's really all he does. He breaks. He has some decent defense and spirit. We're going to be using Bartz for our DPS. Now, Bartz has a wind weapon, and he's blind immune with some human killers. And other than that, he's got his defense and spirit is a little bit low for this fight. But I'm going for a burst strategy instead of a tank strategy. So I'm going for high DPS and kind of like blast cannon. And this is a friend. This is not set up for the fight specifically. He's not blind immune. He's not using a wind weapon. He's on Diablos, so he's got some human killer. But the friend that I wanted to use for this fight is currently not available. This guy's spirit is so low. That's gonna be a problem. We're gonna try it because he does have really high attack. So we're going to try it. I just wish he was using a wind weapon. Alright, so for the first thing is, we're going to be fighting 3 of these statue things. Let's break with Auron. Actually, Auron, you're just going to break attack and magic with your non-cooldown. We got to dispel this boss next turn. So, for now, we're going to stat buff and start filling limit gauge. And we'll just fill the Esper Gauge with Yuna. Alright, so these statues are pretty easy overall. This guy does a lot of single target attacks that Charlotte is passive provoking. Her mitigation is not up yet, as you can see. She's getting hit pretty hard. But it's fine. Alright, so the boss put a defense buff on himself. He does that on turn 1. We're going to dispel that with Yuna. And then we're going to heal. Now Auron will use his cooldown to break the boss, the better break. And Bartz, like I said, we're only going to level 1 with Bartz, and we're going to start chaining right away. There's no point in bringing Bartz all the way to their max power-up on these statues. Actually, he needs to imbue because he's not using a wind weapon. Alright, yeah, as you can see, these statues, they die pretty quickly. I was hoping that Charlotte would get her limit burst here. This might do it, might... No, a little bit short. Okay, so we'll just guard her. It's fine. Yeah, as you see, Charlotte has a damage over time effect. It's pretty painful. And currently we have no mitigation whatsoever because limit burst isn't ready, but it's fine. She's just guarding. But as you see, if she wasn't guarding, she would have been dead. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's AoE re-raise just to be 100% safe. We'll pop her limit burst now. Let's go ahead and chain the Bartzes. Okay. We'll just guard these two. We'll do a Fenrir for the AoE physical mitigation, or the AoE Mirage. Because I think this boss does an AoE physical attack this turn, maybe? I don't remember. He's gonna die next turn, though, so it doesn't matter. Oh, no, we're good, we're good. Alright, Yuna. What is that ability she has that fills the Esper Gauge? I think this is it. Yeah, well, it didn't fill it that much, but it helps. So let's heal, and let's mana regen. And now we'll just go ahead and kill this guy with Bartz. Or, wait a minute. Let's do this one. This should kill the guy. If not, Nah, we're good, we're good. Yeah, the statues are pretty easy. Unfortunately, Charlotte did not get her lone burst filled again, but we'll fill it on turn 1 with Fina. It's fine. Alright, Fina will resist buff and fill limit gauge, so Charlotte can pop her limit. And we'll pop Orange limit as well. Barth will just power up to level 1, and then we'll start DPSing. Now this guy uses a lot of lightning and fire attacks, so we're going to buff fire and lightning resist with Yuna. This is the goddess statue. She does sleep as well on turn 3, I think it is. And she does some fire, ice, and lightning AoE magic, and some dark and holy single target magic. But overall, this boss doesn't really deal very much damage. As you see, Charlotte didn't get hit very hard at all. I'm on Charlotte. Alright, let's go ahead and latent and chain. This guy will latent and imbue. That's not imbue, that is. Alright. Need a little bit of a mana regen. Let's do some mana regen, and let's do some limit fill. Charlotte will do a mitigation buff, and Yuna will buff ice resist and heal. Alright. Oh, and this boss, you don't want to bring him below 20%. Because below 20, this boss begins to use instant death attacks. And, I mean, you can use, like, Safety Bid or Genji Shield. But this is the only boss that does death attacks in the entire encounter. So it's not really worth, you know, equipping those items just for this fight. Just make sure you burst them from above 20%. Or if you do bring him below 20%, use re-raise. It's overall not that big of a deal. Alright, let's go ahead and chain. Okay, we're good. We'll do that again with Auron. And I guess we'll entrust over to Auron as well. And we will fire resist and heal with Yuna. Alright, so there's the sleep. You'll notice Charlotte got slept on turn 3, which is fine. We'll just wake her up this turn. Let's go ahead and unlock Brave Leg with our parts. Well, I told you don't go below 20%, and we went below 20%. Whoops. Alright, so this guy is going to use Death. Let's wake up Charlotte, and let's do AoE re-raise. Charlotte. Let's do a magical mitigation for the whole team because we're gonna lose our cover when she dies. And let's do a carbuncle to reflect some magic attacks because we kind of goofed and triggered an instant death here by pushing him below 20%. Okay, whoops. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. And there's the lightning that we bounced back to the boss. So we lost Charlotte twice because she got death and lost all her buffs. But that's no big deal. We're going to kill the boss here. So we're going to Brave Blade. Let's see. We'll bring Charlotte back and we'll do a mana regen. And we'll do a quick heal with... Actually, let's do this heal because it fills the Esper gauge. Okay. So there was the goddess statue. Slightly uneventful. I mean, we had a little bit of a mistake where we pushed it below 20. We weren't supposed to do that, but it's not that big a deal. You know, we still handled it. This is going to be the Fiend statue. This guy does... Let's go ahead and pop our limits with these two and power up the parts while I'm explaining it. This guy does fire and wind attacks. So let's do a fire resist and let's just heal, whatever. And Fina will do a wind resist buff and a limit fill buff. Yeah, so this guy does fire and wind attacks. He does single target sleep on even turns, so Charlotte will be put to sleep every even turn, which is a little bit annoying, but not that big a deal. Also, below 50%, the boss is going to use Meteor, which is, again, it's It's a little bit damaging, but it shouldn't really kill anyone, so it's fine. And the meteor happens before the sleep, so Charlotte will still cover those meteors. Alright, it's latent and chain. Let's latent and imbue. I'm gonna go ahead and limit one more time so it's still up. Let's do that. Let's just fire resist and heal with Yuna. There's not much for Yuna to do this fight. Mana regen and Shining Cheer. Yeah, so this is turn 2. Charlotte's gonna get slept before she can cover on turn 2. So there she goes, sleep. Now she can't cover. The whole team's taking Tornado and Meltdown. Not a big deal. Oh, a little bit. That hurt a little bit, but we're fine. Let's go ahead and chain. And chain. Alright, that's actually good that we didn't push him below 50 quite yet. Let's wake up Charlotte. Let's do a resist all buff again. Charlotte, it's turn 3. Let's put your cover up again. Let's reload her. And we'll just guard Arn. Alright, so we're gonna kill this guy over the next 2 turns. We're gonna oh, the friend is not blind immune. That's going to be such a headache on the Kefka fight. I forgot about that. Yeah, I remember now. He's not blind immune. Okay, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. I can cure it with, Fina. Did I bring eye drops just out of curiosity? Well, I have remedies, but no eye drops. Okay. I wish the friend was. I really wish this friend was blind immune. I really do. It's not that. It is kind of annoying. Okay. Well, whatever. Alright. So let's chain on the guy. Alright, so we're gonna kill him next turn. Let's use the big magic cooldown with her. Do a fire resist and a heal with Yuna, and we'll just guard with Arn. So here's the meteor, and the blind again. But we've got Charlotte's cooldown up, so like, you know, she's taking hardly any damage. Alright, Fina, let's prime heal, and we don't need that. It's mana regen. Alright, Yuna, do that, and we're going to kill the guy with Bartz right here. Alright. That is the goddess, or the Fiend statue. Now it's time for Kefka himself. So Kefka is going to ambush us with with Heartless Angel. It's going to drop our hit points to 1, but he's not going to attack after that. He will attack after Heartless Angel later in the encounter, but I'll explain that when we get there. So here's the ambush. Hit point equals 1 to everyone. Ouch! Alright, so we're going to use limits on these 2 units. Now this time Barsh is going to go all the way to max power up, because this is the real fight. Okay, so we're going to fire... Actually, we're just going to double heal with Yuna. Before we do that, Fina is going to resist all and Shining Cheer. Now, you want a healing over time effect always active if possible, because this hyperdrive counterattack is a damage over time effect. And he's going to be putting it on lots of units during this fight. So you always want a heal over time to kind of counteract that damage over time. Also, he'll be blinding every other turn, which is tremendous headache, because the friend is not immune, and I have no way to buff immunity on this team. So I need to remember to cure before we attack every time. Alright, let's go ahead and have Yuna fire resist and heal. We'll just double Shining Cheer with Yuna to Fina to fill limit gauge. Arn can just guard. Okay, you see that damage over time effect? And this is going to be a Light of Judgment too. That Light of Judgment right there, that AoE fixed damage, that's multi-hit. He does that every third turn -1, so turns 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, etc. is going to be a Light of Judgment. Which is just a big fixed attack that you can't cover. Alright, let's do that. Fina. Prime heal, and Shining Shear so we can fill limit gauge. And we'll just repeat with Yuna. Okay, so we're almost ready to attack for real. There's the blind again. Gotta cure that before Bart's attacks. So this phase is pretty easy, above 50%. Not a whole lot going on except for the thresholds that I'll explain when we're ready to start dealing real damage. Actually, I'm going to cure the blind with Yuna instead. So let's heal, and does Yuna not have Isunaga? What? Oh, hold on a minute. I thought Yuna had Isunaga. Let me look this up. What are these spells Yuna has? An 8 and a 7 mana spell. Oh, Isuna is 8 mana and a spell. Okay, so she has single target Isunaga. That's good enough. Only one person actually needs it. That's fine. It works out. Alright, so we're going to latent and chain. Friend is going to latent and imbue. Fina will. That's the wrong skill. We'll dual cast. Actually, I'm going to dual cast the Mana Regen. Mana Regen and that. Let's do Magic Mitigation. Arn with Guard. There's the Havoc Wing that hits Charlotte. It's a really powerful physical attack. If her defense was higher, it wouldn't have dealt so much damage. It can be evaded if you want to, but evade's kind of risky on this fight because he does so much fixed damage. But I mean, it can work. Alright, so this could potentially push a threshold. Because of that, on turns you push a threshold, you want to deal physical damage with 2 times with units other than Bart's. So we're going to limit with Auron and punch with Charlotte. And Charlotte missed, so that might actually not count. Uh-oh. I'm going to hope it counted. So we're going to dual Spellblade. And let's see if we push the threshold. The threshold is at 80%. Oh, we didn't push it anyway. We're fine. We're totally fine. We didn't push the threshold. Okay. Let's resist all and Shining Shear. Yuna will dual cast Fire Resist and this. Okay. So we're going to Brave Blade next turn. And the goal is to skip a threshold. If you push 2 thresholds on Kefka, it actually skips the earlier one, which is real nice. There's the Light of Judgment I mentioned. You know, turn 2, 5, 8, etc. But we're going to try to skip the threshold. We're going to go from 80 to below 60 in one turn, if possible. So before we do that, I need to cure the blind and just do a Shining Shear. Alright, now we're going to use Auron to dual cast 2 physical attacks. That's going to eat both the counter attacks from this threshold. We will limit with Charlotte. And now let's Brave Blade. Because Auron ate the counterattacks, first of all, let's see if we can push both thresholds. Please go below 60. All the way to 50. Even better. Even better. That's beautiful. Okay, so in that case, we don't need to use Yuna's cooldown. So Yuna can just guard. Yeah. So now the 50% threshold, all the boss is going to do is buff himself and end turn. Okay. Next turn, he's going to do a super-powered AoE magic attack that can be covered, and then he's going to dispel. So we're going to entrust over to Charlotte, because we need her limit burst after this turn. And we're going to re-raise Charlotte, just in case she dies. I don't think she will, though. Alright. And we're going to go back to chaining. We need to imbue the friend again. Now you can hurt the boss, but he has mitigation, so it's very unlikely to take much damage. And we're going to pop Auron's Limit Burst here. Let's wait for Auron's Limit Burst to finish before we chain. Okay, that's good. Okay, here comes Forsaken. It shouldn't kill Charlotte. Yeah, she's fine. And here's the AoE Dispel. So this is... now we're below... Now we're into the second phase, which is the dangerous phase. Below 50%, every 3-1 turns, so again, turn 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, is even more dangerous than before. Because he can use Dancing Mad, which is, that could be the wrong translation, I'm not sure. But the AoE fixed physical attack will now start being used in this phase. But we're going to push a 40% threshold and skip that. So we're going to use bars to push another threshold. So we're going to chain, but we don't want to push all the way to 30%, which is the tricky part. So we're going to imbue and chain. But again, because it's a threshold we're pushing, with Heartless Angel, we're going to use Auron to hit twice first. Also, we're going to limit with Charlotte for the mitigation. Alright, so now we're going to chain here, but I'm going to intentionally break the chain so it doesn't push him all the way to 30. So we're going to chain and then chain again. I want to go below 40. Perfect. Below 40, but not all the way down. So this is going to be that combo I told you about earlier. So because Auron hit twice, he's going to eat both the counterattacks. Now we're going to barrier with Yuna. And Fina is going to, let's see, resist all and Shining Cheer. Okay, so let me show the order of events. First, the counterattack that Auron triggered. That ate Auron's barrier up. Then the damage over time. Now the Heartless Angel. Because of the barrier, we're not brought to 1 hit points. So you see these attacks? These aren't killing anyone. If we didn't have a barrier, those 3 follow-up attacks would have killed people, and Bartz would have lost all his stacks. But it didn't because of the way we did that. All right, now we're gonna set up a burst again. So we're gonna chain. We're gonna real janky chain and not push to 30%. So we're gonna chain and then chain again. This shouldn't push them below 30. Perfect. Real close though. We're gonna break with Auron. This should theoretically be the last turn we have to deal with damage, because we're going to try to finish the fight out soon. So we're going to use Charlotte's big cooldown. We're going to AoE re-raise with Fina, just to be safe. And we're going to double Curasia with Yuna. Okay. There's the counterattack, but it's fine. There's no Heartless Angel here. Alright, so the final phase is below, there's Ultima and all that. You know, it hurts, but we have all kind of cooldowns active right now. And you see him shooting all the lasers all over the place. It's not too big of a deal, but last turn, turn 8, would have been if we didn't trigger that threshold. And below 30%, it gets way more dangerous. But we are blinded now, so let's go ahead and cure the blind before we do anything. And now we're going to try to one-shot Kefka from here with Brave Blade. That's the plan, at least. It might not work. Actually, did I ever imbue the Sparks? I don't think this Sparks is imbued. Oh, he is, I think. Well, we're going to try it. Here's Brave Blade. Got it. Okay, so we one-shot him from there. Bartz is a wonderful choice for this fight because he has that kind of extreme burst that can skip the final phase. If you want to see how crazy the final phase is, you can look at my first kill, my original kill on the Japanese server, which spent a lot of time below 30%, and you can see how dangerous it is. But there's a safer way to do it without having to deal with that final phase. And also, you know, it shows you the barriers can deal with the hit point equal 1 attack without having anyone die. Barriers can take care of that. Alright, hopefully this has been informative, and hopefully Global brings this to us on time, which should be in about 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. See you guys next time.